All right, good afternoon, YouTube's man always George Page, aka the Emperor of Bodybuilding Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Now, folks, I usually say I'm the Emperor of female bodybuilding talk, but today I have a gentleman. I know it's been a while. It's been a long time since I had a gentleman on here. So, it's usually on my channel. As you know, I do content, as I said again, on a lot with bodybuilding, but being a content mentor about the sport, we also should pay to the people that inspires us. Now, this gentleman, we've been friends on social media for quite some time. We share a lovely lady in common with the lovely Miss Jada Beverly, and this is one Shawn Stewart. Introduce yourself, sir, and tell us your story.
Hi, I'm Shawn Stewart. I am a men's physique, just started men's physique competitor. Last week was my first show. Started prep February-ish, I think. So yeah, did the first show. Used to be somewhere around 300 pounds, probably about 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. So ended up getting a divorce and lost weight, or took me about a year or something. I lost like 100 pounds or something, and then got into bodybuilding a lot, like just getting into like all the whole fitness scene and everything. Just slowly started graduating over to the bodybuilding aspect of it, and just really started making friends there, and just really enjoy the bodybuilding culture and all the friends that I've made, throughout the process and everything. So it's such a supportive community. Like once you kind of get in a little bit, it's a little intimidating at first, but yeah, once you kind of get you over that intimidating little hump, it's an awesome community. Like everyone's so supportive. So
Yeah, that's why I hear that some for some people like this is the people that like it's very like almost a family because
yeah,
even though bodybuilding's been around for a long time, it's still considered a fringe sport. It's not as popular compared to if you look at the mainstream sports. But like I said, it's been a while for as long as it has, like over I think at least 70 years,
yeah,
and it has transitioned over years. Like bodybuilding started with just you just had maybe one division you had men, and then later on had women, and the last I think 40, 50 years it has spanned kind of your division and the other divisions. And like if you look at the men's, there's only four divisions. You have men's open, men's 212, men's classic, and your division.
yeah,
And you look at the women, there's like six. You have women's open, physique, figure, fitness, there's bikini, and there's a new one, wellness. And like any sport, it's evolving. Now, when you that first feeling, what was that first feeling when you hit the stage, when you got out there?
nervous. I was nervous as hell. Look, I never once took my shirt off out in public. Like that was always a huge fear for me. Like, the insecurities of being big and everything. Um, so like me never once ever taking my shirt off in public and then all of a sudden just being up on center stage, like, oh, it was nerve wracking. Like, and you could see it in like some of the videos there of the show. Like, I was just kind of like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Like, but it was like the morning show. I was so unbelievably nervous. Like, my cortisol levels were through the roof. So I think I was a little bit flat. But it was like after the morning show, like, um, I got really comfortable at the night show. You know what I mean? Like after I did it and I got over that initial shock of everyone staring at me basically half naked, I got over that. And it was a lot more comfortable for me at the night show. I looked a lot better. I was more calm. I wasn't so nervous. So, and I mean, like that was one of the reasons I wanted to even do the show, was to kind of like conquer one of my fears of just something as stupid as like taking my shirt off. You know what I mean? Like just conquering that insecurity that I had, because like you, I was big my whole entire life, from, I mean, like when I was 14 years old, I was 260 pounds. I was the biggest, fattest kid in school. So I always got made fun of for it, like a lot. So I don't know. I developed that insecurity of never taking my shirt off, So yeah, so that was like my initial feelings for my first show, was just absolute terror. But I got over it. So
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. Like I'm honestly hooked on competing now. So um I'm definitely going to keep doing it, and it was a lot of fun. Like it really was. Like hanging out with the guys backstage, just talking bodybuilding and all that stuff. Like I said, it's kind of a tight community. We for the most part we cheer each other on, and so that was just a lot of cool. Like that was a really cool experience, just backstage alone, hanging out with everyone. So
Yeah. I remember I used to work at a textile plant, and I worked with a lot of women for a long time. And one of my other jobs was working with, I worked at a strip club. I worked with a lot of women. But then one job I had, I worked with a lot of men. And sometimes with men, we have this camaraderie mindset. We don't. There's not a lot of backstabbing compared to as with women sometimes.
oh
But when you as a man, when you're among each other, there's a brotherhood, and then you can like. I think in some situations, hey, if a guy can put a little tan on your back,
yeah,
but and there's nothing to go about, nothing, hey, nothing stream about it because that's part of your community. You help each other out,
yeah.
but also
Kind
there's
of like a
always
guy code situation. There's a guy code there.
yeah, there's a guy
Not
code because
stabbing each other in the back.
yeah, like there's a guy code is like when you do a threesome, say no looking eyes and no crossing swords. So,
Right. Or if you're going to use a urinal, one fucking urinal over, bro. Okay.
no, yeah, yeah. I
Use the
mean, yeah,
urinal
yeah.
on
Yeah, so, no, so anytime it's just say like this, anytime any dude out there say, "Hey man, want to have sex?" You might go, "Hell, not you, the
the
girl, and maybe another girl. You can watch, but not you and me together. Nah, nah, man, that's not.
right.
Nah. I got a porn rule, and I have this is people always a little dirty. I have pussy to dick ratio, more pussy, less dick, not too much. But anyway,
Seems like a
folks,
solid rule to have. I mean,
that's a smart rule. But anyway, folks, Sean's social media success question. He's also part of the I believe what's the training? Is it training muscle training realm? Am I
muscle
correct?
realm training. Yeah.
Muscle realm training. Where that's the go. That's him, Jada, and several other people in Ohio. So if you're in the area, if you're interested, maybe working out, training. If you are a competitor who looking to maybe get into better condition, reach out to Shawn, reach out to Jada, reach out to the company. Also, as you know, I got a rule, even though this is a new here, but it's even though this side of the body world is a fetish for guys with muscles, no defect. Now he'll take some
Look, I don't have any muscles, so I ain't gotta worry about that. All right.
you got enough, you got more than dude, you got more than me, dude. But hey, if you got ladies, if you got any coochie pics or some you know got a problem taking those.
Look, I've gotten those, and they weren't a very pleasant experience. They came from women that weren't very attractive. So you know what?
You can keep them. You can keep them ladies. No, we don't want that. And like I said, I did stuff research about you, like you were divorced, and you have a son. You're a single parent, and that's one thing about this sport is that taking care. Like I did like what's it about in May. I did a video dedicated to like I do comparisons here. I compare different women. I did a video dedicated to women who are mothers and being a father. I would say happy belated Father's Day to you.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're
Yesterday
welcome.
was awesome, man. Like my boys gave me some cool stuff. Gave me a little give me a custom mug and
The bow tie.
custom cutting board and some other stuff. So it was really cool.
Yeah, how many boys you got?
Well, I got one who is my full biological son, and then I have a stepson, but he's my son. I raised him since he was a baby, and calls me dad. I don't have like full custody of him or anything, but like we're still really, really close. He comes over for probably about 1 week out of the month, and we just like hang out, and he calls me dad, and I'm really kind of the only father figure that he knows, and I love him just as much as I love my son. That's full blooded.
That's a
So
beautiful
I got 16. My stepson is 16, and then my youngest son is 11. He's about to turn 12 July 2nd. So.
Well, I'm gonna quote some movies here. There's a movie from the movie the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 when Yondu said to Peter, said, "He may be your father, but he's not your daddy."
Yeah,
that's a good thing because I didn't have much of a father, but I have my older brothers, my uncles, my grandfathers. They really. That's the thing is that women got to remember you can raise a boy, but you know what? It takes a man to teach him to become a man. That's something that I like. I love my mother. She taught me a lot of stuff that I had to do, but I had to learn to be a man from other men because the fact is we have to learn how to grow up and develop. But anyway, like I said, you were married, and then you were overweight, and she met you when you were still overweight. Y'all together, and then after divorce, you decided, you know what, I want to change some things, and you want to live better for yourself and your son. So that was the decision.
Yeah. Let's. I mean, like, well, I wasn't overweight when we first met. Like I said, I grew up big, and then when I was 14, I was 260 pounds, and I was big. I got my stepdad always made fun of me for like being big. He never called me by my real name, Shawn. He always called me Pillsbury Doughboy. So he was a total fucking douche. But one day, I think it was a Tuesday, February 5th. I think it was a Tuesday. Yeah. And I was getting up for school one morning, and I like put on some whipped cream on my waffles. I don't know if you never had whipped cream on your waffles, but it's delicious. Yeah. And he told me that's why I'm fat. And so I said, you call me fat one more time, it'll be the last time you ever do it. And so he punched me twice in my chest, and then he was 150 pounds. He was like 35 years old, 150 pounds. I was 260. I just manhandled him, slammed him down on the ground, and just whooped on him. Come to find out years later, I broke his back.
Fuck that. He got what he deserved.
Yeah, I took Lego my ego to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
All right?
You like about you, man. You talk, I want the cream with the crop. Put the cream on him. And the cream on the crop. Oh, yeah, sucker. Yeah, right. You look. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I ended up getting kicked out. My mom ended up kicking me out of the house after that. So I was homeless from the time I was 14 to the time I was 18. And then I lost weight during that time. Like I developed some eating disorders. I had dyslexia, or where I didn't eat at all. And then what's the other one where you make yourself throw up?
Bulimia. You're anorexic and bulimic.
Yeah. So I developed those, and then I got down really low. Like I was unhealthy as fuck. Like I developed those eating disorders, and I was skinny whenever I met her from, whenever, because I think I met her around 23 years old. So I was skinny, and then over the years I got comfortable, living a dad life and being in a comfortable relationship, and I ended up gaining weight. So I went from like, I don't know, 170 up to like basically 300 pounds. And then after that, she ended up cheating on me, and asked her why she did it, and she said it's because I was big. So then I found myself like going back to where I was whenever I was a teenager, with like the whole not eating thing and all that shit. So that's kind of why I got into bodybuilding. Like I was able to eat and, get rid of those fucked up eating disorders that I had, So yeah, no, I wasn't big whenever I first met her. I ended up getting big, and she apparently did not like that. So
that's the problem, is like women should be more like this, like acceptable as a man, because you know what, men, we're gonna change. Like we get older. Like when I was about 12 or 13, I was already over 200 pounds because I'm from farming stock. My brother my brother played football. I started playing football when I was about 15, and I was pretty strong. And I was already, by the time I was 17, I was already doing 350 in the bench press. And guys asked me, Jordan, man, yeah.
You say you're 15 hitting 350?
No, I was about 16.
Oh, still.
See what it was, that guys asked me, damn, George, you strong. Why you strong? I said, George, you know why he's strong? I said, why? You ever had any, George? I said, no. Then, boy, you cock strong. That's what it is. And once you have some, you lose that. It's like Samson when he gets his hair cut. You lose your strength. And then, like I said, I quit playing football because I got a job. And then, like anything started working. I used to work at a gas station. Sometimes at night, a little snack a little bit because, and then my job was with strip clubs. Sometimes after work, I eat a little bit. And then my mom, she was a great cook. My mom used to cook pretty good. I mean, my mom could burn bad. I mean, she like, I was telling my nephew was talking about, he was cooking something, boy, you can't cook to save your life. Me and my older brother, we learned from the best. We call my mom used to say, well, have you ever heard of this thing called clay dirt? It's like dirt you take your people eat, and she used to sell it. and we used to. I call mom like Scarface. Mom was a Tony Montana. Mom was salsa. She was salsa. She like the lady down the road. She was like she used to sell dirt, but then rarely ever come to her. So she was like Tony, and mom was salsa. So remember when salsa told said I'm gonna get you freaking monkey, and that was mom. She said the years was after salsa, but yeah, I can understand dealing with because like I said I was a big guy too. Girls didn't look at me like the way they look at other guys. I was thinking I was already about 17 and I had boobs, and it's difficult. And sometimes, like I said, when my mom was sick. I took care of her for the last 5 years, and sometimes I ate because it's just stress, and sometimes it's just the thing about food is people don't realize that food can be as addictive as drugs,
Oh yeah.
as sex, as money, as alcohol,
Mm,
and it can just as kill you just as bad, but not as it slowly kills you
yeah.
because yeah.
And it is a drug. I mean, there are food scientists out there that their sole job for these companies like Frito Lay and all that shit, like their sole job is to find. I think the scientists call it like the bliss zone or something like that. But their job is to find the perfect amount of sugar to put in each item, so it's addicting because sugar is the number one drug in the world. And these major corporations, they have those scientists that are working for them that they'll say put X amount of sugar in here, X amount of salt, that way it, like potato chips, they're addicting. They're not addicting because they taste good, they're addicting because of all the additives and everything that they put into them that make them that way, like a drug. That's their job, is to make you addicted to a potato chip so you can't just eat one, you can sit down and eat the whole bag. So
Yeah.
it is a drug. And like that took me a while to realize. Like one of the hardest things to quit in bodybuilding was quitting sugar. I didn't think it was going to be that hard. Like, you know what I mean? I used to smoke cigarettes, and quitting sugar, compared to quitting smoking cigarettes, was 10 times harder. Like I was having like cold sweats, like not because I quit sugar cold turkey. Like, you know what I mean? Because once I figured out that body or sugar was not good for bodybuilding, it's one of the worst things you could do because it fills up your fat cells and all that stuff. I'm like, all right, I gotta quit if I want to do this. So I quit it cold turkey, and I was having cold sweats and everything. I was like, damn, and I was like, because I used to eat a lot of sugar. It was one of the reasons I was so big. I just never really took into account my sugar intake.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so,
I can see. I can say that because, like I said, my mom used to make the homemade cakes, and we after she was done, she give us the bowl of the spoon. I wanted the bowl because it's a spoon. You by the time a couple of licks, you're done. And sometimes it's like. Like I said, I'm of course a lot of movies like being like Pookie New Jack City. Be calling me man, be calling you dad, be calling you dad. I can't quit it. And I know some ladies who I talk to say one thing: they love their carbs. They hate that they have to give up carbs. Sometimes I might accidentally send like a video clip of food, and I say, "Don't be sending me that while I'm prepping." I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I wasn't thinking. I'm sorry. And it's just hard. Anything, especially I know a lady who just recently did a show, and the first thing she got was they often say like this: I want to get something sweet or something salty, sweet or salty, or somebody say I just want something to drink if I get some liquor. Like I said, we got here. You put this in here about here you go. Aunt Faith Stewie, I love you. I love you too.
I love you too. I
I
love you.
love you, man. I love you, man. It's just like I say, it's tough to give things. Like I say, I'm trying to cut back my sugar because I'm pre-diabetic. It's my mother, she had it. My older sister, one of my older sisters, she has it. I'm trying to. I buy wheat bread, but every now and then, like I get. I have a taste for something. Like I bought a thing of apple fritters. I already ate 2 yesterday. I shouldn't have, but it's just that sometimes I'm home a lot. I don't, I'm working on stuff, and sometimes you're bored. And that's one thing. Boredom is the one thing that makes you want to eat.
And it's a slow process. I mean, like it's a drug. You have to wean yourself off of it. For me, the easiest way was cold turkey. I mean, I have like an addictive personality. So like if I find something addictive, it's hard for me to quit. Like I just got to stop, cold turkey and just stop. But yeah, if winging it off slow may work for other people, and then other people is just like going through that initial shock of just cold turkey in it, and that was the only way for me. And I know some people can't do that. Some people got to wing off of it. And the diabetes thing, that's the sugar is the seventh leading cause of death in the United States. It's the diabetes. It leads to the diabetes. I mean, my dad was like 600 pounds. My aunt was like 500 pounds. So like being 600 pounds kind of runs in my family. Unfortunately, I probably have the worst fucking genetics for bodybuilding you could possibly have.
I'll tell you right now, I got my mother. She had high blood pressure and hypertension. My father, he died from a heart attack. My brother, he had heart issues. He passed away. My third oldest sister, she had a stroke. And my older sister she had issues with heart issues. She just went to the hospital like about a week ago. She was there for about at least a week. I mean, I had a heart attack when I was before I was in 40. And and I got a pacemaker because I was like, the story was like, after I had couldn't work for a good while. Then I went and got my surgery. It was serious. Like I remember when first time I went to see the doctor, we were talking about my situation. My fracture rate was low. It was a little Indian guy. Mr. McCarthy, your fracture like it's really low, and you have to go to. And then when it got serious, we brought in the British doctor. Said, Mr. McCarthy, we must have my surgery immediately for you because you need a pacemaker. I said, oh no, you got the British doctor. That's serious. I can understand that genetics is, especially being from the South, how we cook here. We do a lot of fried foods. We do a lot of stuff like that. That's the hard part because family reunions and stuff. My aunt, my father's one of his sisters, she had a birthday party. First time I had ice cream cake in a while. I said, you know what? It's ice cream cake. I ate something. I enjoyed the time spent with her because I don't get to see that often. But it's just when we're around people, and then it's kind of like like people who've done drugs. They take a hit of this, take a hit of that. And he asked you want some of this, honey? I said, no, I don't. I'll take a little bit of this and a little bit now and then. Then later on, you just it's just
And that was really, really hard for me whenever I first started off, because so many people think bodybuilding is freaking weird. You know what I mean? Like I would be around people whenever I first started my journey, and they'd be eating cake, like you said, because it's the same thing up here in Ohio. I mean, like we're cornbread fed. We like the fried stuff, the cornbread, the sweet stuff, and like I would go to like some sort of friends event or a family event or something like that, and everyone's just eating whatever, and I'm like, I can't eat that, and it's almost like it's insulting when you turn down someone's food. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, well, I cooked this and you don't want it, so it's like no one really kind of like understood that. Here I am with my chicken and rice that I packed, and it was definitely really hard to like just the whole socialness of it. And a lot of people, no one understood it. You know what I mean? Like no one at all understood it. Like everyone just thought I was weird as shit. Like just, packing my lunches, packing my food, and just always having food with me. So
well, that's not because like my doing this content and doing interviews with, I have ladies told me that even one lady told me she went to a wedding, she packed her own food. She sometimes one thing is friendships can be strained because the fact is you don't spend time with your friends like you used to. You can't you have to make a lot of sacrifice because you are focused on your goal because you are an athlete.
Yeah,
and as an athlete, you're training, you're prepping. It takes a lot of work, and there's times like I know your friends say, "Hey man, hey Stewie man, you want to go? I know you love the Cheetos, man. You want to go? Go here. We're gonna go to the strip club, get some chicken wings, like that." But you say, "No, brothers, I'm prepping. I'm eating my broccoli and brown rice." And and that's why I eat too. I try a little more healthy because I've lost. I was before my mom passed away. I was 460.
Oh, where are you at now?
I am at 409.
Nice, man.
Yeah,
congrats, dude. That's huge, man. I mean,
that's
to like lose that much, and how long it take you to drop down?
at least about it's gonna be. See, my mom passed away about 2 years ago. I started about maybe a few months after that when I realized, what, she's gone. I got nobody to take care of but myself. Because mom, she had a series of seizures. She had a stroke. She was bedridden. And I was taking care of her because she took care of me. She's my woman. She took care of me. I took care of her. Yeah. And then after that, I said, I'm going to take care of him. Somebody keeps telling me, George, you need to take care of yourself now. You don't have to worry about mine anymore. She's in a better place. So I said, maybe about a few months after that, I started doing some workouts at home. And then I started losing weight. And then I started saying, well, I'm gonna buy more water, try to get away from the sweets and the fried stuff. Even now, because I said, especially when you're hungry and you want something to eat, I might pick up something, and be that about it. But I try to eat smart at home. I don't I do like baked stuff and
Mm.
or I steam it or But every now and then, if my sister cooks something, she lives like across the other side of the town where I live at, and I might eat what she got. But sometimes I try to eat smart. But it's tough. One time I was doing some workout stuff like that, but I have an issue with my shoulder because I have a tear. I need to get surgery on this. But what I did was that's when I started. So you know what? Let me go to. I got one thing I got. I can go to a gym and I just do some machines and hit the treadmill and the stationary bike.
Yeah.
And because I see my little post so often on my IG, and that helps out a good bit. And
Oh,
then try to drink more water. Try to every now and then I'll be like, water's boring because where
mhm.
I came from the country, and we used to have a pump, good old fashioned country pump. Water would taste good. I mean, we got this bus from school. We drink jug of water, just like Stone Cold Steve Austin, and then we came into town. The water's just not that great. It's just too much chlorine stuff. It's we still drink it. We put it in the freezer where they get cool. But then afterwards, I saw buy a bottle of water. I try to drink like after I work out, I might drink water. I try to drink a like a low zero carb
Mhm.
sports drink. I try to be smart what I do, but sometimes I follow my habits because sometimes the things that you know make you stranger.
Well, if that water tastes that bad, I mean, you can make your own alkaline water. Google search it. One way to make alkaline water, I believe, is by using baking soda. I don't know what the rations are. And then another way is by letting your water soak in lemons and cucumbers, I believe. I think you got to let it set overnight, let it soak in there, and it drops like the pH level of the water. So it'll kind of fix that water issue, wherever that water tastes like absolute crap, you can kind of just turn it into your own alkaline, your own homemade alkaline water.
I mean, one time somebody say you should like boil your water sometimes and just let it cool off and you can drink it later because it helps out. Because sometimes what they do, like where I live is sometimes they'll run the system and then around with brown, so it's not worth even wash dishes with. You can piss in and in it, but it's not worth. That's about it. But that's good advice. And this is why folks, I got him on here because the fact is, this is the person who's been down there, who has his boots on the ground, 10 toes down, who's been through the struggle, especially with us people who are overweight. And sometimes we put up a good fight, but then it's like that old G.I. Joe saying, winning is half the battle,
It is.
And
And I want to say too, like I want to help any overweight people. Like, so, I mean, like if you're struggling, losing weight, you're obese and you have questions, like slide up in my DMs on Instagram. I mean, I want to help people. Like I want to help people the way Jada's helped me and other people in the bodybuilding community help me, especially obese people and overweight people. Like I know what it's like. I know what it's like having those insecurities. I know what it's like being overweight. I know what it's like to feel like dog shit. I know what it's like to look at yourself in the mirror and hate what you see. So, I mean, like, yeah, just if you have questions, there's so much false information out there. And that was really, really hard for me to do, was to decipher the good information and the bad information. Like, I cannot stand any of those Gymshark turds. They're all full of shit. Every single one of them are giving out false information, just about. And it's like they're used car salesmen, like I that's where like a lot of people will go to, is those Gymshark guys, not really knowing that, yeah, these guys are on all kinds of gear. They're on Winstraw, Masteron, and everything else. That's kind of why they look like that. And they're just selling you these little pump workouts, trying to get as much money from you as you possibly can. When actuality, that stuff doesn't work. That stuff works when you're prepping for a show. Those are pump workouts. You know what I mean? That's not going to build you muscle. It can, some of it can build you muscle, but a lot of them, what they sell you is just crap. And like, that was hard for me. There's all this information on the internet, but a lot of it's wrong. A lot of it's just people trying to sell you crap. That's and the Gymshark guys, all the Gymshark people are basically, I mean, there's a few good ones out there, but in general, I would have to say,
yeah, you like, hey, brah, if you take this, brah, it might make you decent like me, brah. Like
yeah,
this,
and they'll
brah.
do weird ass fucking workouts. Like,
Yeah,
I'll see those Gymshark guys doing weird stuff, and I'm just like, ah.
You like, oh, brah, you know what? Like, come on, brah, we can do this together, brah. And that thing about we talk about this. I do interviews about steroids. It's one of the things why bodybuilding gets this finger pointing in it, like say you're on steroids, you're taking this and that. But it's every sport. It's not just in bodybuilding. I do content on MMA, and it's MMA fights. It's just recently a MMA fight by the name of Ashley Evans Smith. She got busted. She's a UFC fight. She got busted. But this was like I was like Jessica Panay, Brock Lesnar, Frank Mir, Anderson Silva. You can't about the Barry Bonds thing. Barry Bonds never did, but we can't remember Jason Durambi.
Yeah.
Sammy Sosa.
I mean, golfers pound this stuff. You know what I mean?
What?
Yes, I mean, any type of professional athlete, there's something out there.
Tiger Woods is on
like ballerinas and stuff.
I heard about that because I got a lady I'm friends with. She told me about that, and I was thinking, I know the guys will be on it because they got to lift the girls a lot of times like that. But they told me the women be on it too. I said, what? Because some of those women can look like if you strip a female body women down, they look like borderline figure competitors.
I've never seen a ballerina stripped down. Now,
when you wear tight little clothes, you see them if you watch they do when they do like when you go to like their practices like that and they dress in the leotards. We look at the muscle development because I'm a small muscle pull for women and I pay attention to that. But
you have the eye. I do the same thing. I got.
Hey, fellas! It may not be the '80s, but we're still down with the ladies.
Right.
And one lady I want to talk about our dear friend Miss Jelly Beverly. I hope she's doing all right because Jelly she had a setback a while back because she did the indie show which y'all sponsored, and she looked all right, but she didn't look as full as because I know she got sick. She had some situation, and I was talking to her a while back. She's doing a little better, but the question: how did you two got together? How did you meet? How you became friends?
We went to LA Fitness together, not at eSport and now. I mean, for like 4 or 5 years. So just being in the gym all the time, and just got to know her and talking to her. And like I said, it's for the most part, 95% of bodybuilders out there are supportive, and I was a huge fan of bodybuilding, and I didn't know any other fans of bodybuilding. You know what I mean? So I seen Jada. I didn't know she was like, whenever I first approached her, talked to her, I didn't know she was. I mean, I kind of figured she was a pro. She had that pro, she definitely had a pro physique. I was like, damn, but I knew, and then we just started talking about, bodybuilding and, the sport, and then, just, talking about the sport in general, and just kind of became friends that way. Just by talking about bodybuilding, basically. I mean, she was the only person I ever knew at first that was a fan of bodybuilding, and it's hard to find other fans of bodybuilding to even like talk about the sport with, And most of the jack people that are into bodybuilding, you only see them in the gym, but we all got headsets on, so it's kind of hard to even meet them.
Yeah, I'm working my pecs, bro. I'm working my pecs.
Yeah.
You'll call me later after I'm done, bro.
The workout, tap him on the shoulder and be like, hey, what'd you think about, Big Ramy winning the O? You can't really do that. So it is hard to find other people that are into the sport.
Yeah. And because like a while back, when I started my content, I feel like there wasn't a lot of people. Then there was a guy who reached out to me. His name is Glenn Young Sr. Glenn just started a magazine called Amazon Fitness.
Oh, yeah.
Magazine. Yeah, because I think Jada mentioned they were supposed to try to get something together. And it was and they had an event about the 1st of May, and I went to it, and I met a couple of ladies who did interview with. Her name is one lady, Amanda Snook. She's an amateur physique competitor. She's from Canada, but she lives in Florida. My lady I become very friends with, Mary Ann Wachowski. She's like, I think Mary Ann's 59 years old. She finally got a pro card about 2 years ago, and she's probably competing in a master show in about, I think, next month. And getting to meet these women, in the sport. I mean, I met a couple of ladies who do wellness. One lady just got an amateur card just about a month ago. A lady who was a physique, women's 2 physique competitors. A lady I did an interview with, her name is Carla Bennett. She lives in North Carolina, and it was just and I did an interview with a lady by the name of Aubrey Whitney, who lives in North Carolina. It was just something for me, being a fan of female bodybuilding a long time, to find these women and meet with them and talk to them, and just find out there's people out who are like me. When I got into it, like I said, my older brother used to play football, and you get the muscle max. And I grew up in the good part of the 80s. He-Man was popular, Thundercats, and see these guys with the muscles, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, get to the chopper. Lou, the Incredible Hulk used to always watch the show, and then the women was saying that kind of just because by the time I was getting a little to my my teenage years, the women kind of blow my pubescent mind. I mean, these women most like Corey Everson and Linda Murray and Beth Francis, like people who I follow night, people like my dear friend Mr. Lovely or Charlotte Bosworth, the lovely Gita Beverly. I mean, Andrea Shaw. Oh my gosh, I think she's the most beautiful woman in the world. I mean, she kind of reminded me of a woman back in the day by the name of Audrey Harris White, just about the family. And find people who have a fondness for a sport, even though the sport is considered a hobby sport. It doesn't get as much attention compared to competitors. Like as you know, I did interview a lady who just got a pro card, and I remember posting how she talked about how it cost her so much as a competitor because you even saw that video and you talked about how it costs you a lot compared to the women. It costs them a little more than you men because hey, you don't have to worry about getting a haircut. You got to put on a tanning solution, and you don't wear a banana hammock. You wear board
Yeah,
shorts, but it's expensive to compete at, and
it
you're
is.
an amateur. And you
Yeah,
got to find a way to pay your bills and stuff like that, and still try to compete at the show.
yeah, it's very, very expensive. I mean, yeah, the women do cost more than us. I mean, like for example, like I could get a pair of like boy shorts there for men's physique for like $50. You could buy them expensive, 200 or something, but I could get them for like $50. And I've seen the prices of some of these like damn suits that they wear. They're a couple grand at the pro level. All those
Yeah,
little damn jewels and everything, and then the jewelry. I don't even know how much that costs. I'm assuming that's even more. So yeah, it's a very, very expensive hobby, I guess,
yeah,
especially for the women. I really feel bad for them because it's like I did the math on my show. I added up the food cost and everything else like that. And it was like from starting from prep and on to the end of the show, it was about 7 grand with everything like food,
travel.
supplements, boy shorts, all of it. Like it cost me like 7 grand. So, and I know it's more. And going back, I like it's so crazy how expensive. This is one thing I found out whenever I went from being unhealthy to healthy is how freaking expensive it is just to eat healthy. Like I used to have, whenever I was married, I had a family of 5. It cost me $500 a month to feed that family of 5. Now it's like at least $500 a month just to feed myself healthy food, the same amount that it cost to feed a whole family. Now it costs me that just to feed myself. And then I got to buy Ryland's food too because I'm not going to make him. He's not going to eat bodybuilding
Yeah, no,
food. I'm not going to make.
no, no, don't let your kids gonna be eating quinoa or
Yeah,
broccoli.
yeah. He'd look at me and probably slap me.
He'll fight you.
Honestly, like,
He'll probably do
what
you.
are you smoking? You think I'm going to eat this crap?
He'll probably do you like you did. I'm gonna do you like I did like you did our step granddaddy. I'm going bam. And that's the thing is like I say when I started eat a little healthier. Like I said, I don't like I said. I grew up when my mom she raised us. We were there were 6 of us plus my 2 nephews, and we were on welfare, and I'm still on welfare because I'm on disability. And she had to feed a family, so you go find a deal like processed meat. You might say like hamburger, like 3 packs for $2, something like that. And when I started, I said, well, I got to agree for the processed stuff. I try to get the lean meat. It costs a little more. Like you get it like $4 a pack. And be like this much in the pack. Then I eat a little more broccoli. I eat a little more. I try to get the more I get the more processed chicken, so I have to do a lot of breakdown and cooking.
Yeah,
And and it is expensive to eat healthy.
it
It's
is.
a lot easier just to get the stuff and just boom, and that's it. And then you have like I said, what been looking for me is that in my state because of North Carolina, because of the pandemic, we were getting food stamps for like that would help us out because I save on money because I live on disability budget, and that could buying food can really cut into it. But
Yeah,
I've been blessed that we had a smart governor who jumping stuff in and try to help us out. But yeah, it's people understand that that's the thing is you want a healthy lifestyle. You have to pay the cost to be the boss.
yeah. And I mean, like even running a cheap bodybuilding diet, you can run chicken breast is the cheapest, and then you get hamburgers. So chicken breast and hamburger, that's the cheapest bodybuilding diet that you could possibly run, and it still adds up. You know, rice is nothing. You know, just eating chicken and rice and hamburger and rice. That could be your baseline diet, but it still adds up. But that's the cheapest way to probably go with bodybuilding, and then you could get more expensive with fish and
How many
bison.
fish?
Yeah,
Bison.
I didn't either. Like this prep, the last 2 months of prep going in, I hate fish, but last 2 months I wanted to like try to thin my skin. So I started just my whole protein intake for the last 2 months was just tilapia and egg whites. That was the whole protein that I ate. And honestly, tilapia is the only fish that I can eat, and it digests really well. So I think of this off season, I'm going to just move away from chicken breast and just eat tilapia to see how that works, because it digests so well. I feel like I can digest fast and I can just eat more food. So I'm definitely going to try. I do like tilapia, and I after the last 2 months of running that prep and running the tilapia diet, it was good. Tilapia does not have that strong fish taste.
Yeah,
I drowned it out with like some skinny girl dressing or something too. So.
I know. One of my old sisters would say I should try salmon, because salmon's kind of like, it's almost like beef in a way if you eat it. But I never been much of fish. Here we got our Mississippi 84. First off, congrats on the fitness journey. I wanted to ask, what is your favorite thing about prepping for comps, and what is the worst thing you dislike prepping for competitions? Yeah, that's the thing about it. Because also the thing is, you have a young son.
Yeah,
he's not gonna eat what you're gonna eat.
No,
he's gonna eat chicken nuggets.
Yeah, and he likes the dinosaur chicken nuggets. For some reason, those dinosaur chicken nuggets hit different. So I'm not allowed to buy anything else other than the dinosaur chicken nuggets.
Yeah, and he's eating what he's eating. You on your diet, and you like, Daddy hungry. Daddy gonna take.
Honestly, that's never really been an issue for me. Like I think part of it was because I had those eating disorders. So I've kind of been disciplined from cheating and doing all of that stuff. But going back to her question, the thing I liked the most, honestly, was the changes that I seen. Seeing my abs for the first time, like I damn near teared up. I'm like, holy shit, I got fucking abs. And then seeing my serratus, like my shark bites and that stuff. Like that, just sitting there and seeing that and never being able to see my abs before, and seeing the cuts and all of that stuff, and seeing all of that work over the last 5 years just coming together at once, just at that one moment. Like it just woke up one morning and then poof, there's my abs. I mean, obviously I worked for it for 4 years, but just waking up and then just seeing that, and then just seeing those little small indicators the whole time of going through prep. When I got, my bicep veins first popped out, I was like, holy shit, I got bicep veins, so then I just never wore anything else other than tank tops after that. But, and then getting my delt veins, starting to have delt veins and striated delts, seeing that stuff was absolutely awesome. And it I said before, I had confidence issues, but seeing that, it boosted up my confidence, and just it made me happier, feel better, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
The thing I disliked the most was cutting water. 2 days out from the show, not being allowed to drink water. That was horrible. That was hard for me. For some people, it's a little easier. I got a couple friends that have no issue, but cutting the water, that was rough. We did a couple. Jada made me run through a couple mock preps. So we can try to figure out how to carb me up, because I've never done a show before, and she's obviously never, coached me for a show, and she really didn't know how I would respond to certain carbs, whether she needed to carb me up with junk food or carb me up with rice. And I failed miserably cutting the water through those mock preps. You know what I mean? Because I work outside a lot, it's hot, and it's oh my God. So yeah, that was the worst. I got better at it towards the end, was cutting water, but yeah, that was the thing I didn't like the most, was the cutting water. But it was totally worth it seeing your abs, though. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, one thing you go for, put a 6-pack on your stomach, then have a 6-pack. Your stomach turns a 6-pack.
Yeah.
We got here My man KLA, don't go against nature. I swear Andrew Shaw almost looks like Keisha Knight Pulliam, aka Rudy Huxtable. Maybe it's me. Yeah, maybe it's you. But like I said, that's the thing is like, it's a lot. You have to be dedicated and you have to be consistent. And some
Mhm.
days I go to the gym like maybe a couple of times out of the week, just so like I said, I'm trying to talk slow because I know with my
Yeah,
size and my condition, I want to take it easy. I want to
yeah,
slowly develop as a person, and then and my family members like one day, one of my aunts, who I was at my other aunt's birthplace, he said like, your skin looks like more clear. And my niece, she's my brother James daughter. She said to me, said, "You look a lot smarter, George." I said, "Yeah." And those little things I noticed, like, well, like, I still have issues with my knees. Like I said to you before, like we talked before, like how I got knees like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like, you remember when Stone Cold used to wear the braces?
yeah, yeah,
And because I got to see my orthopedics on Wednesday. And but I remember the doctor said, you need to get your weight off for you, so get off pressure. You need to. And I said, yeah, and that's why I was mostly was doing it for. But I did realize to say it helps me out better in the long run because I have congestive heart failure. It's
yeah,
genetic, and it does help. I think I've got a little better. It helps out with certain things. Also, I have a DVS set. I have so many different things about me because the fact is, just my body. I've been cursed, but it's the thing about trying to fight those genetics and environment and all that other stuff. It's just so hard, especially
it
instead
is.
of getting, you go to events and you see your family and you don't
Mhm.
want to say, oh, not at Pat, I don't want to, and not I don't, not but then you gotta fight the temptation because like I said, it's that drug. It be calling you, man. You
Yeah,
be
yeah,
like, shoot me up, shoot me with some iced tea, and that's the part about that, Here we have Mississippi 84. Thank you. He appreciates your answer.
no problem.
And that thing is, a lot of people need to think about what they want to do. They want to set a plan and figure out how they want to start. And like when you started, what was the plan? What was the goal?
Whenever I started, I can't stress enough how much it is and how important it is to set your goals, no matter how far away it seems, no matter how stupid or unreachable. When I first started losing weight, I said that I wanted to be on a bodybuilding stage. That goal was so far out there, you know what I mean? But I set that goal. And if you don't set your goals, you're like a lost ship at sea without a compass. You have to set it so you know where direction to head, so you can write your game plan and you can just go towards that goal. I call it kind of like putting on my blinders, where you set your goal, you put on your blinders, and then you just go straight for that goal. You have to set the goals. It's so important. And I mean, like, people laughed at me. People straight up laughed at me. Like, whenever I would purposely tell people, like, yeah, I'm going to be on a bodybuilding stage one day, just so I could hear them kind of laugh. So it would give me more motivation. Like, yeah, fuck you. Like, but you have to set those goals. You do. And if you don't set them, you're most likely never going to reach your goals. And I mean, you don't have to tell people them. You keep it to yourself, so people don't laugh at you, because people will laugh at you when you tell them your goals.
Mm-hmm.
That's just human nature. They'll laugh at you. They'll doubt you. They'll think your goals are stupid, and they only think that way because it's either A, something that they can't do. So because it's something that they can't do, they don't think you can do it, or B, it's just they don't see the vision that you see. They don't have the vision that was given to you on what your goals are, so they just kind of think it's dumb. And then there are supportive people, and the bodybuilders were the ones that were supporting me. Like, I remember it was like 6-7 months into me losing weight, and there was this bodybuilder, and he's like, I never even told him what my goals was. And like, I was, we were talking about my diet and everything. He's like, I'm going to see you on stage one day. You know what I mean? So like, just initially, like, the support from the whole community, even starting off me being, 230 pounds, like, the bodybuilder, like, yeah, you got this, So yeah, it was support. So yeah, and like, the normal people, like, call them the normal people, they did not want to, like I said, they just thought it was dumb and stupid and laughed at me. And Oh, I lost every single one of my friends from like whenever I was big up until now. Because a lot of them just didn't understand it. They did not. For one, they didn't understand I couldn't go out drinking. So the vast majority of my friends that I lost was because I quit drinking. So, and then the other half was just, bodybuilding is kind of boring. There's you can have your life, but like, you can't really go out partying, or you when you do go out, you kind of got to bring your own food and all that stuff. So yeah, I ended up losing just about every single friend that I had. I mean, I gained more in the fitness world, but yeah, there was definitely some sacrifices made during there.
Yeah, that's the thing about friendship, because some people are fair weather friends. They come in
Mhm.
your life and they come and they go. But the real people like Jada, Andrew, we talked about earlier, those people that stand by you through thick and thin, hell and high water, those are ones you really appreciate. And like I said, I have people I know. I have I don't really have like friends. I have people I'm acquaintance with. But doing this, my content and working on this, I really some days have reached out to like folks. I'm gonna say this real quick. A gentleman who has been on my live before. What about over the weekend? Mr. Big Keith Williams. I've done videos on. He got into a car wreck.
Oh,
I mean, and his
yeah,
wife.
right?
Yeah.
Is he all right? Like,
He's hurt really bad, but he's fine. I want to give a shout out to him, and and we call each other. He calls me his little brother. I call him my big brother, and and it's just when I talked to his wife Tina, me and Tina, we talked on the phone, and she told me about it, and I said, Tina, take care of yourself. Do what you can for him. I mean, because he's a guy who really I talk to him on the phone. He really inspires me. He tells me stuff that I don't know. I'm learning from him, and those are I would call friendships I have gained while
yeah,
doing the content. Like the ladies, I send stuff to them every so often. They laugh, they love the little picture stuff I make for them. They tell me little things. I'm like I said, I'm planning on going to a show in Savannah because where I live in North Carolina, I'm just only a couple miles from South Carolina, the border of South Carolina, and Savannah's not too far from me. This is gonna be my first show to go see. And some of the ladies said, I'm doing this show. So I'm gonna get to see you. I remember Jada told me she wanted me to come see the indie. And I said, okay, okay. Let me figure out if there's a train or plane, a train. I said, train or bus line. I said, no, you got to fly a plane. Fly a plane. I never flew mine. I mean, you have to do like, if you ever get a plane, you have to do me like Mr. T on the 18. You have to, hey, food, like, nah. And also they charge double for me and a man my size. But I said, I would love to go see a show. If I wasn't, if I was afraid of the cost of the freight, I would love to have gone see that show at the ending. It was a great show,
yeah,
and I was sad that she got fifth place. I was, I watched the show. She looked pretty good, but she wasn't really herself like she needed to be. And I know I did a video where she said she's taking a step back. I thought she was retiring. I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, Jay. I thought you said you retired. I didn't mean to. Let me correct it and say you just taking a step back because that happens quite often. A lot of the ladies, a lot of the guys, we take
yeah.
a step back to take a breather and to really work a few things. We have here Mississippi 84, Mississippi, using negativity to fuel your progress, very strong mindset. And also,
Thank you.
he says, how many hours do you train per day? What works for you may not work for him, but give us
Um,
your.
since I'm men's physique, it depends on what body part. So if it's legs, I'm in there for like 30 minutes. But no, I train probably about an hour and a half a day. If it's like something fun, like a chest day or something, I'll lose track of time. I'll be in there for 2 hours, sometimes more. I don't care. But it just depends on like how I'm feeling. Like, obviously during prep, I'm not in there for 2 hours. But like if it's off season and I'm fueled up with food and everything, and I'm just in there having fun, I can be in there for 2 hours. Like I enjoy the gym, like that's kind of like it's where I go for fun. And that was something that Jada taught me. Like I used to go every single day, 7 days a week. I did it for like 3 or 4 years. Like, and Jada taught me the importance of rest day. I think like a lot of my process was probably screwed up because I was honestly working out way too much. So she had to force me to take rest days. Don't tell her, but still, sometimes I will still go that Lord knows rest days, but but I gotta make sure it's not around 2 o'clock the same time she goes. So I gotta go sleep.
Well, like I said, you know what? One of my favorite movies is and KL. I'm going to talk about KLA. I'm going to talk about, you know, what my favorite movie is the whole Batman Begins, the whole Batman trilogy by Chris Nolan, and you know, you're Bruce Wayne, and Jada is Henry Descartes, aka Ra's al Ghul, you know,
Yeah.
and what I remember what you know, Liam Neeson, who played that character, what he said to Bruce Wayne, this is what you need to do. Like, if you make yourself more than just a man, if you devote yourself to an idea and they can't stop you, then you become something else entirely. You become a legend. And you know, and that's how it is. I mean, I watched that movie. I love Batman Begins. I love the whole treat, and you know, you know, and just here goes Mississippi '84. LOA, very cool. Thank you both. I appreciate it, brother, for coming through, and we appreciate it. And that's the thing is, you have to, you know, make yourself something more. And I know Jada, as they said, she draws our goal. She told you never give up, sure footing for a killing blow, and you know. And she, you know, and I think she's a great lady. I hope we get to see her back in competition again. She
Oh,
takes
you
the time,
definitely.
you know. Yeah, we love Jada. She's an amazing person, you know. And I hope, you know, we hadn't talked too much lately because I think we got a little, but you know, we usually after a while, you know, we get it. But the thing is, like I said, with this sport, there's so much to it, and people got to understand what, you know, sacrifice you have to make. I mean, there's times like being a parent also. I know your son, he wants to spend some time with you, and then no, son, I got to do this, I got to do that, you know, and those sacrifices cut into that time too, which is, you know, because he's, like I said, he's gonna be 12, and he's gonna come to the age where he's gonna start growing chest in his hair and start, you know, and
Oh, he's already started. He's getting hairy legs and everything. So
where he's gonna be like dad. So
yeah,
yeah, and that's the thing about is like I said again, is as men, we need our fathers to teach us who we to become. And I didn't have my father was in and out of my life when, you know, and when he passed away. I remember we had a conversation and we talked and we settled our differences as men. And you know, I remember the day he died. I told myself when I was younger, I'm not gonna cry. He died. I remember the day he died, I cried because that was my daddy. And then, you know, and I know, you know, a boy, you know, and like I said, truthfully, I'm more like this: a boy best friend is mother, but a boy's father is the man who makes him the man he's gonna be. And I think your son's gonna be probably a great man because he's following you. You know, forget the wife. You know, be like wait a minute, fuck up. You know,
yeah.
you know, and you know, and what you're doing, you know, when you decided to take this path and change your get away from like, you know, like after what happened your mom did and then, you know, and you know, I think, you know, some men was like it's sad that women would disappoint us because I think women are a great strength at the same time are a great weakness. They can break us and also build us. But
Yeah.
like I said, even
Yeah,
if they
you
do
just got
break
to
us,
make sure you don't get like an Amber Heard type of chick. That's
oh no, no.
that's me.
Look how the Johnny. He lost Jack Sparrow. He was going to do the third Harry Potter spinoff movie, but he lost that. But
Yeah.
she still needs to be Aquaman too, you know. But she got to pay her.
Oh, she lost Aquaman too.
Oh,
She's not allowed on it. Yeah, they cut her out.
they cut her out.
Yeah,
What?
they cut her out. Yeah,
Oh
for
my
rolling shit.
god.
Yeah, it's like that's what
Oh,
you get.
oh,
So
oh. That's what you get. That's what you get.
exactly.
That's what you get. Yeah, you know, it's just like it's in society is, you know, women can pretty much outnumber. You know, I think in this world, women do outnumber men, and we have to realize that. But the fact is, we appreciate you, women. We love you, but you have to also recognize, men. We purpose of men's life is three things: to build, to battle, and to breed. And after that, that's it. Women, you know, we do this for you. We want to build a world for you. We want to have children. We want to span ourselves and we need you to stand by our sides.
Like
Is there any other than Jada? Is there anybody special in your life?
no, no one. I mean, it's hard to date. Like it is really, really hard. I've tried a few times. Like just the for one, the bodybuilding thing, which isn't even like that much of a deal, but like when you mix bodybuilding in with like being a dad, so it's like on the weekends I got to do meal prep for myself, meal prep for my son because I'll prep his meals throughout the week too. So that way, whenever I get off work, I could come home, throw his food and my food in the microwave, and I'm done. You know what I mean? I don't have to sit there for an extra hour or 2 hours cooking. So I'll prep all of our foods, and then the other time I'm spending it with him, whether we'll play video games together or we'll watch, our thing is we'll watch superhero movies or superhero, whatever, like the Mandalorian, whatever type of like superhero TV shows out. Like right now, what do they got? The
Kenobi.
Marvel or something, the
I think
TV
Kenobi.
show.
Kenobi's out.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it
So
yet
we've
because
been watching it.
I don't do streaming. I don't do streaming. But
I got one more episode before I'm caught up. So I first I kind of didn't like the first episode or 2 episodes, but I'm starting to dig that one.
yeah,
But yeah. So I don't know, and I mean, like I've had girls break up with me because I would spend too much time in the gym. You know what I mean? And it's like I took a screenshot of one of them where she said I spend 3 hours or whatever in the gym, and it's like, no, I spend like an hour and a half. Like that's my me time, like I don't. So I don't know. I think I just need to like try to find a more fitness type of woman that kind of understands.
It's hard because I'm single. And, I had, like I said, I remember this lady I used to work with. He said, George, you live with your mama, right? I said, yes. Well, son, go out to do what you want to do as a man, but always come back home to your mama. And I had ladies who I would say were friends with benefits. We had some good times, but it's hard to be, now my mom's gone because my mom was my woman. She was my woman. And, she took care of me. I took care of her. And, where I live in a very small kind of community, in my town. And between, I might be related to half the people in this side of North Carolina and the other half of North Carolina. I mean, I remember one time I was talking to my aunt. I was at a club talking to this girl. And she said to me, like, say, so what's your name? Who are you? Say, well, I told her my name. He said, I said, oh, I remember y'all. You might know my grandpa. I said, your grandpa is my great uncle. Nice meeting you. So, and stuff like that. It's just, I think for us men, it's a lot harder, but we can take rejection, stuff like that. But, in your community, it's
still rough. Don't get it wrong, man. Rejection's still rough.
It's hard. We like to say, nah, you're not my type. But like I said, in the bodybuilding community, it's just like I hate to bring this comparison to like it's an important community. How they date each other among each other. The fact is, they know each other. They get more, everybody outside of the like I say, people like who are laymen or casuals who don't understand how the industry works. It's easy to be with somebody inside the community. Like I know you're backstage with the girls. Like sometimes you have the figure girls and the bikini girls and the wellness girls. And they, the world. And you look at it as men, we are visual creatures, and we see women. Like there was a story about a girl who was on TikTok. How she posted how a guy was looking at her. You probably seen that video. It's on YouTube. And the guy looking at her.
The girl that was like. She was like slowly taking off her hoodie or something, and Joey Swole like made a video about it.
Yeah. It doesn't, make sense. Women gotta recognize if we see something like you, we're gonna look, we're gonna glance. When I go to the gym, I see women like some girls who like real shapely. Like, I'm gonna look because I'm 47 years old. I can't stop who I am. I'm gonna look at you. I'm not gonna stare. I'm gonna get a quick glance.
Everyone looks. I mean, like I've caught girls looking at me in the gym. Like if I got a pump or something, like I've caught them looking. Girls look too. They're just a little bit more sneaky about it. You know what I mean? Guys will just kind of get hypnotized for a minute and we get caught.
Yeah, so, like it be like girl be on Stairmaster. She like has a booty like J Lo. It's like
yeah.
It's not like guys. It's not like one thing. It's not like you have a napkin with a knife and fork in your hand. You're gonna look, and and that's like I say with that life. I know quite a few ladies who are who married to guys in the industry. There's a few who married outside the industry. It's about trying to find somebody who's cohesive with you.
Yeah, and that's kind of what it is. And like after like a lot of dating chicks that aren't into fitness at all whatsoever, I've kind of discovered that it is a lot easier to date someone that is in the industry or like doing that just because they understand you. You know what I mean? Like for instance, like I said, that the girls don't understand why I go to the gym for an hour and a half. You know what I mean? Or they don't understand why you can't go out throwing back drinks because you got a show in 3 months. You know what I mean? So yeah, I see now why so many people date each other in the industry. It's just because I mean you have a similar mindset. So why would you not want to date someone that has that same mindset as you? Same mindset, same goals, all of that stuff. So yeah, I can see how. And I'm starting to learn that myself. Like, all right,
Mhm.
well, apparently dating a normal girl is not really probably most likely going to work.
Yeah, I know. Like when ladies I talk to, they have to deal with the fact that how guys treat them. Like like saying you're trying to be a man. Yeah, 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 yeah. But the fact is, I don't see how like someone like Jada, who's a very beautiful woman. I talk about she's and how she's trying to be a man. I mean, there's some women do take the stuff that make them look like a little bit kind of give them a Dick Tracy a jawline, but they're still women, and
Yeah.
and women like to be around. They like to be minded their woman. Like sometimes when I see my package, I see a little stuff in it, and I get like a responsibility. Say, oh my god, it's and because it's something that like something that they enjoy. Because the fact is, it still reminds them they're a woman. Like little nail clippers like that, little shampoo, something like that. Something that they enjoy because women are still women. Women like to be pampered and treated, and some guys are intimidated by the fact that if the girlfriend has more muscle than them, and as men, we have to get out of that. We have to realize like yourself, you're an athlete. Like these, like Jada, she's an athlete. Like all the ladies who are competing
Yeah.
athletes. You're here to compete and represent yourself. It's no
Well,
different.
those guys that are insecure about the women with bigger muscles, that just means they're insecure themselves. So,
Mhm.
I mean, maybe I can kind of see why they're insecure about it. I don't know. It is kind of weird, that they would be insecure about the woman having more muscles. I mean, but I can understand too if they just don't simply just find it attractive. I mean, like, everyone has their type. If that's not their type, then it's not their type.
Yeah, you don't have to say something about it. Just keep it to yourself. If you don't
Yeah.
like her, keep it pushing. Like the chick said in the TikTok video, and it's just like I said. You doing what you got to do, taking care of your kid. And I hope, like I said, you find somebody that matches with you. The right woman. Maybe
I hope so too, man. I'm getting old.
I know how it is. You're getting you get to that point where I'm home a lot, and I watch in about maybe in an hour or something, watch Gunsmoke. I don't like we get to this point in life. You don't like the things you like when you were younger. Things start to
Yeah.
change. You get that when you're at that point where I'm not that old, but I'm not that young. I don't like a while back. Me and some homeboys. I used to work. The club I used to work at, it got shut down for a while, and then somebody opened it up, and I went there, and it's just like it wasn't the same because the girls used to go there were really nice. Talk to you. Some of these girls I became friends with over time. I still got a couple numbers of others, and it's just we had a good camaraderie, and we enjoyed ourselves, we enjoyed our time. But then you go to now, it's this young crowd. They don't know how to act. They just and then they just don't. It's just about sometimes it's not enough mutual respect anymore like it used to be.
It was probably that way then too. You probably just didn't notice it because you were younger. I
Yeah.
mean, so
Yeah, this is a Mississippi 84 just what, Yeah, I think it's just it. But like I say, we're not gonna hold Shawn too much longer. He just got from working out. I knew it's about he's it's about supper, it's about lunchtime for him. He has to feed the machine. You gotta feed
right.
the machine. He go Mississippi 84. Try dating in Miami. It's a great fitness conscious community, and people are very humble.
That, well, that's what I've been told by a few people in the industry. Like there's states out there that are like better like than Ohio. I mean, there's a lot of power lifters here in Ohio. The bodybuilding community is not that great, honestly. But yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, that's what I've been told is like different states have the better community for bodybuilding, and Miami is definitely one of them. Like
I
that's
would
one.
say Miami, about Florida. I think around about Florida because a lot of people I know who live in Florida,
Anything near their son, like Miami,
Texas,
Texas.
Texas,
Um,
and mostly where
Texas
body.
is going to become the new mecca for
Yeah,
body.
it's because I talk about how people like Myla Ash, and I got a friend of mine. Her name is Brittany Brooks. She's a physique competitor. She just competed in Omaha about a couple of weeks. She lives in Texas. Texas is growing. They don't do bodybuilding shows for women in Texas. They should. We switch to do a show there. but also California, where bodybuilding stuff like Venice Beach and Muscle Beach, and that's where it kind of spread out. I think not too much in New York and and other places, but it's growing. We got here, but man, Big Duke 24. Big Joyce. It's me, Big Duke. Salute, great show. Thank you, brother. He lives in North Carolina like myself. He does training, he competes, and shout out to Big Duke. He's also probably about doing content interviews, and it's just it's just about finding a community that works for you. And just said, Florida has a good community, Texas has a growing community, and California, I would say, has a legendary community.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, folks, like I said, we're not gonna hold our man Shawn much longer. It's about, like I said, it's already past lunchtime. He has to feed the machine. Feed the machine, bro. Feed the machine, And oh, here he goes. Big Duke says, salute, Shawn. Salute to you. Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm brother Big Duke. And like I said, before we go out, you have like what would you, as an amateur, would you like to see change in bodybuilding? What would you like to see?
Changing in bodybuilding, I don't know. I think, well, on the amateur level, I'd like to see more of, with the crossovers, there being a more divided line when there's a crossover. Like say, if it's a men's physique division, and then you have a crossover from a bodybuilder, like, there needs to be more of a separation between divisions, how it's judged a little bit, like, because I've seen some of these shows where they'll have a bodybuilder winning a men's physique. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, well, it kind of doesn't seem like he fits the men's physique category very well, but maybe that's it. I mean, maybe drawing the line a little deeper in the sand when it comes to crossovers on divisions. And I don't know, that's probably it really that I can really think of. I mean, there's not much changing that you can
Shawn, look at my hand, Shawn.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's money, but let's make the shows cheaper. How about that?
And also, as amateur,
I'd like to see.
Yeah, as amateur, you have to pay entry fee too. Because I know a lady who told me, like, the one I did the interview with, you saw how she told me, like, how much it cost her, like you said, how much it cost you.
It was like $400 for a show or something. I'm like,
yeah, for like, because I think she was doing
per division.
Masters, per division.
$400 per division. I'm like, oh my god. Like, that's like what she do, two divisions.
I think she did physique and bodybuilding, and also I think she did also masters.
So she did 3.
So she did, like 2 divisions two divisions in a class. You might say that. And I talked about this on my channel, how when you get to the pro level, you got to pay that pro card. I know Jada tells you she pays her pro card.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you don't get anything much out of it, because like my dear friend Mr. Big Keith, who told me when he played football, football players back in the day, now you get a pension, you get something like that. And I think it should be, when you get to the pro level, you should get a pension, a little assistance, something like that. Because hey, IFBB, NPC making money off y'all guys.
Oh yeah. Well, going back to the things I would change. Now that you bring that up, in bodybuilding, the pro level, what I would change. I mean, like, I've talked to some top guys that, they're not making money. Like, they don't make money off the shows. Like women's, if you're a woman bodybuilder and you're open, you're lucky if you get first place. I think usually the payout's like $3,000 on your typical show. That's not counting like the big shows like the O or the Wings of Strength show.
The Arnold don't have women's you have his figure. You don't have the real women's bodybuilding. Arnold kid, as I said, I kept saying, like, Arnold was quite behind physique and women's bodybuilding and stuff in the heart. And those are shows where you really make some money at. But and the thing is, a lot of the ladies, they have to do OnlyFans, they have to do webcams, or sessions, or I say some photo sessions for the, as I call them, the Beat the Meat website, because their fan base is the men.
Yeah. And even if the woman is a top tier bodybuilder, like, $3,000 is not even going to pay for your show. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the $3,000, if you win first place, that $3,000 for the show is not going to even pay what it is that you put in to even do that show. So, I mean, and then you kind of wonder why you see some of these shows where there's like two competitors in them. You know what I mean? Or three
Yeah.
competitors. It's like, all right, well, maybe I'm a little broke this month and I can't afford to do the show. So a lot
Yeah.
of them got to rely, like you said, on some of that stuff. And it's not just the women too. Was
Yeah.
it
No.
last year or the year before? I mean, it's top tier. I want to say, don't quote me on this, but I want to say it was. Shit, I can't remember the pro. Was
Well,
it
just said
Becky or Lionel Becky or some shit? But he was coming over to the U.S. and his damn credit cards got declined. Like he maxed out his credit cards, couldn't even like come over. You know what I mean? Because it's just they have to rely on a lot of pros have jobs where they have to go do a 9 to 5 job and then go bodybuild and then do all of that stuff. So yeah, the money is kind of crap. It's kind of sad when the Gymshark guys can make more money than the professional bodybuilders. You know?
Yeah, and then and that's the thing is that I think it needs to change. I mean, I think IFB NPC know that we come to see y'all. We don't, and I think they make billions off of, using like product placement. And if you get a sponsor, that helps you out. If you get a
Oh yeah.
sponsor, because I know your Muscle Realm, they sponsored the Indie Pro. They were one of the sponsors because I know Jada was telling me about how she wanted to say the thing out. And Jada, I mean, she looked, like I said, I have a lot of respect for her, and but it takes a lot, and and it's a financial drain.
It
Not
is.
just like, and she has a little dog to take care of and that like that, and you have a kid, and you can't pair a kid to having a dog, you don't need a kid,
Well, kind of. You got to feed and water both of them, so it's close.
But like I say, if your dog gets sick, you can put him to sleep. You're not gonna put your kid to sleep.
Melatonin.
Yeah. We got here from my man, Big Duke. Hell yeah, great point. Yeah, I appreciate that. And from Mississippi 84, thank you. Now, like I said, we want to thank Shawn because, like I said, I know he got to feed the machine, and we don't hold him up too longer. You have anything you want to shout out and send appreciation to?
Um, no, just a shout out to Jada, I guess, for just always being there for me and my support system, and just doing what she does. So yeah, and then like I said earlier in the show, if you need help with if you're overweight and you just need some advice or anything at all, feel free to contact me on IG. You should be able to. It's Stewie Loves Cheetos. Should be in the description on the YouTube channel. So I mean, yeah, just if you have any questions, I want to help people, especially if you're overweight. So, and if you need coaching, go to themusclerealmtraining.com. If you're looking for coaching, Jada does all of the contest prep stuff and all of that for any athletes out there and Jada knows how to get you peeled. So that's one of her strengths, that she can get you absolutely peeled.
Yeah, I get, she gets me peeled. I'm sorry, Jim. I can't help you. You're a beautiful woman. I can't help it. I'm a small perv. Okay, I can't help it. But folks, as I said again, Shawn, his information description in the video. You want to check it out. Like, comment, subscribe. Reach out to Shawn. Support him in his journey in this path of fitness and bodybuilding. Reach out to him if you want interest in training. Pay him. Pay the man. Give him his money. Get his money right. He want to get his money right. Make his money right. And we want to support him because, like I said, this is a cool dude. We've been talking on IG quite a bit. He follows me on social media. He follows me on Facebook. I follow him. He follow me on. I follow him. I mean, it's just great to talk to somebody who's been through the struggle, who's been through it, and he's standing proof that he's right here. He's standing in front of me, and he has done something that a lot of people can't do. It's just like I said, it's like I said, food is addictive. Everything out there is addictive. It's hard to, just to, say, no, I can't do it. I want to do it. But as I said again, fellas and ladies, no P or D pics. You don't want to, unless you are like maybe really sexy chick with a nice body and nice set of boobs. Yes.
Nothing is more attractive to me than a classy lady, so I don't even want to see boob pics. All right, you want to impress me? Come at me with some class.
Yeah. Like sitting in a chair and like with a tie and a suit with your legs out and like looking. That's something I think. But like I said, we appreciate my man Mississippi 84, my man KLA. Don't go against nature. My man Big Boop. Big Duke in the house. Shout out to you, Big Duke. And we appreciate Shawn. Shout out to our lovely friend, Miss Jada Beverly. Lovely lady here. And important people out there, like I said, like, comment, share, subscribe. Like I said again, reach out to Shawn if you're serious. And also one thing, if you are somebody who was a sponsor and you want to sponsor a young man in his journey path in fitness and me becoming IB Pro, reach out to him. Be genuine about the sponsorship. Because the fact is, I know guys be out there, there be some guys say, hey Shawn, you think you see me some topless pics? You be like the guy, you gotta pay.
I've gotten those more than anything. People asking for pics for me. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, you're like in the movie of Sausage Thing, and you put up a good fight, but not all the time. Yeah, but like I said, I appreciate you, brother, for coming on and sharing your story.
No, thanks for having me, man.
No.
Well, it's something different from you too. Yeah, I got to have a guy. We got to talk bro stuff.
Yeah, we're talking about bro stuff. But like I said, the thank you part, and so again, I told you before, I'm a big fan of the whole Christian thing. And when Jim Gordon turned around to tell Batman, I forgot to thank you. And Batman said to him, you never have to. And that's how it is. All right. Anyway, folks, we have to thank man Shawn Stewart for coming through. Thank our brothers for sharing this. Like, comment, subscribe, or like I said, don't comment, subscribe. Forget y'all. Because you know what? This is the thing about haters. You hate on us, but we don't care about you. So this is your man, always George Page, aka the Emperor of Bible Talk. Like, subscribe. Don't like, subscribe. We are out. Have a good afternoon.
Bye, guys.